Live on both. Happy Thirsty Thursday, everybody. How's everyone doing today? I'm wearing a flannel and it keeps getting caught on things.
It's cute though.
Thank
I like
you.
flannels.
Thank you. Yeah, it's starting to be that, like, I feel like fall just was like a week long and now it's...
I know, but it's my favorite season.
I know, and I'm mad about it, that it's so...
No, but I think even 50 degrees is fall.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends, right? When I lived in Southern California, it was like 60 and we're like, it's freezing. And we looked at the temperature.
Perspective.
60 degrees.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pull us up here very quickly, but we're doing sour beers today. Well, we're doing a Hazy IPA kit and then a sour Blackberry kit.
Are these brand new?
They are brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Brand new 1 gallon kits.
I can tell that I haven't been in my office much because I don't know much about these.
Well,
yeah, I've been...
I'm sure you'll see the instructions soon enough.
Yes, I've been finishing infrastructure in the warehouse in our distribution center and running back and forth for a big floor move in our store. So, hanging out with product hasn't been what I've been able to do, unfortunately.
But you've done some exciting things at the store, right?
I have. We have a whole beer wall now that is like you walk in and it's got just an entire wall of nothing but hops, just hops. And underneath that are all the equipment kits and all of the brew pots, and then above that would be all the extract ingredient kits. And so you can see anything from the Grainfather to an economy brew pot to like a beast kit, and then you're able to see every single beer kit we have just in a line, in a row, and compare them. So
that would be cool.
We're hoping to do the same kind of thing for the wine, although wine doesn't have as much stuff.
Do we not? I always feel like we have more wine.
Well, we have more wine ingredient kits.
Yeah.
But like as far as equipment goes, or like what would be the equivalent to hops for wine? Doesn't exist.
That's true. I guess there's oaking things to oak, but that's for beer as well.
Yeah.
I saw on Instagram someone mentioned a smoked beer again, and I remember that one I had with Zach, and I was like, oh, I want to try another one of those. It was good.
Yeah.
But yeah. So what we're drinking today is a raspberry blackberry fruited sour.
Both?
Yeah, so it's both. And at first I was like, oh no, did I get a raspberry sour when we're talking about blackberry? But it has both in it. And it was saying that it had something like 30 pounds of Oregon raspberries and blackberries. Not in one glass, obviously. And then vanilla bean added into it. So I'm excited. But it is a sour, so I'm already feeling like we're going to be making some faces.
Okay. I'm like anticipating.
So,
okay.
It smells pretty sour.
I hope everybody out there has their drink of choice in hand.
Do you have your choice in hand, or are you at work?
We're at work and we have a drink. I don't know if it's my drink of choice yet. How sour is it? I'm scared because I can smell it.
It's pretty... Ooh, and it hits you after it's a thing.
I haven't even tried it yet. It's sour.
It's pretty sour.
Alright, we're doing it again.
Do you remember the last time we drank pineapple sours though? And the first sip was like, whoa. And then as we were drinking it, like calmed down a little bit.
Yeah. Ooh. I think sours, you know how like your bittering units have a scale?
The sour?
There should be a sour scale.
I'm sure there is
things.
one.
I feel like I'm drooling. Is it making your mouth like?
Yeah. It's very fruity, very sour. I kind of like it though.
So, and you've already heard about her experience in the big liquor beer store, and so this came from that experience.
Came from the big liquor beer store.
We don't have these brewed.
Yeah. So. We have 2 brand new 1 gallon kits.
Ever.
2 brand new 1 gallon kits. We have a Hazy IPA and then a Blackberry Sour Tart Ale. I believe it's an ale? Yeah. Blackberry Tart Sour Ale.
Which one would you think you would prefer?
So I haven't had very many hazy IPAs, but the
hazies.
few that I've had I've really enjoyed. So I would probably go with that one. But like, I'm not hating this. I just, if I wanted to pick a beer that I know I'll enjoy at any occasion, I would go with the hazy IPA instead of the fruit sour. But this is, to me, I know that it's like fall, winter now, but this is like a summertime beer to me. I don't know, it's very refreshing. Not that you can't have refreshing drinks in the fall, but you're already cold, so I don't know. It's just released. We didn't create the schedule. We're just,
No, but sours are big right now. Sours are very popular.
It is quite sour though.
It's not. So, like, I think the pineapple one wasn't as sour.
Someone says, Tim said, hello. Hey Tim, how's it going?
Yeah, the thing is, this is not diminishing the sourness as I drink.
No,
It's
yeah.
staying right there. It's hanging right there.
Let's see. Workshop Studio Microbrewer. I've been wanting to brew a sour. This might be a first step. I think that
This would be a great way to do that. Yeah.
Yep, and then you can have 1 gallon and test if you even. I don't know. Have you had sours before, or have you just not brewed a sour before? Let us know. And if you have had a sour, what type? Because I feel like the type,
like the flavor, like the
flavor,
fruit
yeah,
choice.
Yeah.
Well, and I really thought the pineapple was going to be kind of really in your face, and it wasn't.
I keep drinking it,
But I
expecting that it'll calm down.
That the berry is more pronounced.
Yeah, I agree. So since we're talking about the sour a lot, let's unbox the sour first.
Okay.
So these are 1 gallon kits. They're $19.99. We do have a sale going on right now through Sunday. If you use the code GALLON at checkout, you'll get 10% off either of these 2 kits. So, your instructions, madam.
Thank you.
Let's see. Where do we want to start?
Interesting. Do you see those big red letters?
I do.
Now, there's red letters up here in the ingredient section and in the recommended procedures. So, please note, due to sour yeast, be sure to thoroughly sanitize all your equipment before and after each use.
Oh, so they want you. I mean, generally.
We always do before.
Always do before, and then usually when I have brewed, we just cleaned it afterwards. But they want you to sanitize it as well, so that I'm sure the
there's no
bacteria
residual at all.
keep growing. Yeah. Huh. That's interesting.
That is interesting. I love when I learn new things. We just learn new things. Yeah. And if you've never done a sour before, doing a 1 gallon batch would be a great introduction to it. And then I want to expand this, or I'm good.
Right. So what do we start with? So
let's see.
We do have steeping grains, right?
So pour 1.5 gallons of clean water. We know we're heating. All right, our steeping grains are
crushed caterpillars, 4 ounces of that.
Okay.
And the color in this is not going to be this dark color that we have here. It's actually a golden color, so that's a bit different.
Alright, so we steep that for 20 minutes. We start our boil. It says bring your wort to a gentle rolling boil. Add all of the included DME, 8 ounces of maltodextrin, and 2 ounces of fruit kicker to the boiling wort.
So we've got Pilsen Light, pound of that for our DME, and then we also have maltodextrin, 8 ounces of that. And then I'm assuming hops are... Oh wait, you said fruit kicker.
And the fruit kicker.
2 ounces of blackberry fruit kicker. So this is kind of like the natural flavorings if you use the natural flavorings, but it has, I believe, like a little bit of a sourness to it. I think at least when I tested the pineapple, it was kind of sour too, besides having the sour yeast.
That makes sense to me.
So,
and then we do have 12 grams of hops.
Huel Melon hops. And when I was looking these up, it said that Huel Melon, it's kind of the aroma or flavor profile associated with it is like cantaloupe, watermelon.
Makes
like,
sense
it
to
makes
me.
sense. It's very fruity, and it's a relatively new hop, so it was only created in 2012. So it's like pretty new for the brewing world. So, kind of cool. And then we've got, here's the Melon bag for the steeping grains. and then you've got your priming sugar and your crown caps if you're bottling. And then
and the difficulty level is easy. And that does looks easy.
Looks pretty easy.
Yeah.
Last but not least, the star of the show.
Yeah.
We have got your Philly sour yeast. So this is what makes it sour.
But it says to measure out 1 teaspoon of the yeast. Do not rehydrate it and sprinkle that over the wort.
So you're not using
the whole thing.
Yeah. Man,
There's a little hiccup difference.
I feel like if you did use this full thing, it would make it probably ultra sour, or it would like.
I don't even know.
I don't think it would be good.
No.
It's in red.
It's in red in 2 places, so it's no joke. Just use 1 teaspoon.
It's no joke. Don't mess with the red lettering.
We told you here first. Yeah, not bad at all. I don't know. I think this looks like it'd be pretty darn easy to do.
I do too, especially with only 1 hop addition. Like, you're adding the maltodextrin and the fruit kicker, but like...
Yeah, but you're doing that all at the same time as the DME.
So you don't have to...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really not that hard of a kit at all. So, I haven't talked about this. I'll segue into the next beer with a short story about my last Sunday, what I did. We brewed on...
And we haven't had a minute to talk. So
no,
this is a new story for me as well.
So we brewed, and I say we, myself, and then a local homebrewer, Jim. Shout out to Jim if you're watching.
Thank you, Jim.
We went to Jim's house, and we brewed on the brand new Grainfather G40. And I can definitely see the upgrades from the G30. It's pretty cool. So one of the...
Now, is the G30 what he has?
Yes. So the G30 is a lot narrower. So the wider base on the G40, like it just being wider in general, the surface area, it's like a lot more even to heat everything up. And in general, it's kind of just like easier to like kind of see what's going on in the boil because it's like spread out more than kind of having to...
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense. It also has the mash plate that you put in. Apparently, Jim was talking about they used to get like people ranting on the internet about the old mash plate. It had basically the silicone edging that you would put on it, and then you drop it down into the grain basket or into the base. And what happened is whenever you put the silicone on and you try to push it down, the silicone would pop off on the side. Yeah, but it would pop off on the side. Okay. So like he was like, "Here, try this. Try doing this." And I thought that I got it first try, and he's like, "Look," and it was popped off. And I tried it 2 or 3 more times, and I couldn't get it. Like it was very frustrating. And the new one has a rolled edge mash plate, so you don't have to put that silicone around the outside. And it's like, it's so much easier. You just slide it on down in, and it's like a huge improvement. And then it also...
Isn't it funny how the littlest things matter so much?
Dude, it mattered so much. It also had wireless connectivity, so like it was really nice because there's basically an app on his phone, and it literally step by step, he put his recipe in, and it would be like, okay, now it's time to do your sparge, like blah blah, and it kept track of everything. It was really cool to brew on. It's very interesting going from brewing on like in the past brewing on just like a
an element pot,
to a system that was like so nice and like basically step by step directions for you.
And so does it tell you it's time to add something?
Yeah.
Does it tell you, okay, I'm good, I'm done, go to the next thing?
Yeah, it tells you all that, and it has like a little, like, it alerts you and whatever, so like you don't have to keep track of anything. I mean, you're keeping track of it on your phone, but it's not like, oh, I bumped the timer on my phone, and like, it has a integrated sight glass on the side of it, so you can tell exactly where, like, the level that it's at, which was really helpful. Yeah, it's really cool, but we're going to be putting out a video of the full brew day soon, and I just saw that Grainfather put that it's available.
I just sent that to you this morning.
I was really excited. It must be very popular because it's already sold out.
I got that newsletter yesterday. Yeah. I sent it to you this morning.
Yeah, it said that it's out of stock. So I'll kind of try to keep you guys updated on that, but it is going to be a special order item in our store. Just because for all the time and effort and hassle and shipping to get one over here, we don't just want it to sit. We'd rather just like order it and ship it directly to someone that would want it.
Or come in and pick it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but it's a really nice system. It was really cool. And it was really cool to compare the The G30. I haven't.
Which has been like the Ferrari of
Yeah.
brewing systems for a while, and now it's been.
Yeah. The other thing about the G40 that was cool is they changed the, I'll call them perforations, the little holes in the inside that let the brew do what it needs to do. They changed it so they're spread out in a pattern that makes it more efficient compared to so basically you won't get as many like things that are stuck. Like it'll keep it all running more efficiently. So yeah, it was really cool. I had a lot of fun. Shout out to Jim. We brewed a Chimay, which I'll talk a little bit more about probably in the video, but it's a very unique style of beer that comes from Belgium, and I felt very privileged to get to try it because the actual beer itself, if you're not brewing a clone, is going for $180 for a 12-pack right now.
Ooh.
So it's pretty cool to experience that, and I had a good time.
So do you feel like, after talking to Jim, and Jim was one of our first people who bought the Grainfather in our store. It just seemed to be like there was a group of people who came in and bought them, like all within the same couple of weeks. And he's had it and he's used it to the point where he's kind of a master of how to use this thing. Do you feel like every complaint that he had, somehow Grainfather addressed it?
I feel like they listened to it.
Like they were that responsive.
I feel like they listened to it because I feel like people didn't like the silicone edging. They changed it. People were having problem with things getting stuck. They changed it. One thing that I don't think I mentioned is the pump is rated to heat higher temperatures than, I don't know if it was specifically in the G30 or just like compared to a lot of brewing systems out there, but it's rated for higher, so that helps too, and that was something that people had asked for. They changed it. The perforations and everything, they changed it. Like, I feel like it's just like a completely new system, and it's just a pretty, like, someone commented, I put up a photo, and they commented, what a beaut, and I just feel like that's the best sentiment. Like, it looks great. It looks great, and the brew day went really well. So, yeah, it was exciting to be part of something because it's brand new and apparently not even available yet.
That's wild. So you were there for 7 hours. How much of that time was spent actually brewing?
I'd say probably like 5.
Because you have to set up and you were talking about things. There was an educational component to it.
Yeah, we were kind of like at the beginning, we kind of, we're getting started.
Plus you had never met Jim before.
No, I hadn't.
You showed up and said, hi!
Yeah. And also, if his wife is watching, Lisa, she was the best. She was like making me food and snacks and making sure I had coffee. Like,
your day was rough?
And my day was so rough. They have been down to, they're big fans of the Bourbon Trail in Kentucky.
Yes. Well, they're the ones who brought back bourbon for us.
Yeah, so you walk into their house and they literally have all these shelves filled with bourbon and whiskey, and they were like talking about all the different types and everything. She was saying that she had never liked Maker's Mark before, and which Maker's Mark is not that fancy. It's just a bottle with a red wax.
We love the drip.
No, I'm just messing around. So she was saying she never liked it, and then apparently there's a new type of it. It's FA1 or FA2, I can't remember, that was designed by a woman. Like all the other ones, the flavor profiles were designed by men, but this one was designed by a woman. She's like, I was kind of curious, like, would I like it better? And she's like, and it turned out that I did. So she's like, I'm not saying that all women like have the same flavor profile preferences, but like it was interesting. She's like, I thought it was kind of interesting.
Well, and also women in bourbon, it's probably a pretty new combination.
I think fairly, yeah. But yeah, it's cool listening to their stories and hanging out. They had their friend Dan there that apparently we have his coworker is my friend, so it was like
6 degrees of separation.
Yeah, it was
like 4, 3.
Yeah, but no, brewing the beer was cool. Jim is very into like making sure that the recipes are true to form. So, for example, one of the things that he did is the water profile. He used just RO or distilled water, and then he added the chemicals back into it. So he added like.
Did he use AccuMash or did he just do his own chemicals?
He did his own chemicals. So he used I think calcium chloride, I want to say. He did just baking soda. I think one or two other things that he did.
Was
but
gypsum one of them?
I don't think gypsum
Okay.
was one, but what he did is he figured out the calculations and then he put the water to mimic the water profile of the water in Belgium where the beer was brewed, like originally.
That is so incredible.
Yeah, so it was really interesting because he was like measuring things out, and he said that so this particular style of beer, Chimay, there's 4 different types of it. And it's funny because Dan was like, there's blue, there's yellow, there's red, or no, he's like, there's blue, there's red, and there's red. And we're like, you said red twice. And he was like, no, I didn't. I said red, blue, red, oh. So anyways, there's 4 different types, but we brewed the blue one. And then he had a sample of a blue one that he had brewed previously that I tried so I could taste like what we were making. That one actually turned out to be quite a bit lower ABV for whatever reason than this one that we were making. I think the one that we were making this time was around 10 or 11%. But an interesting fact is that the place where it's made is brewed at a monastery in
I love
Belgium.
this. Yes.
And they actually make a beer there. It's like a 5th version of this beer that only monks can drink. So like they're only allowed to drink it. So that's kind of like an interesting. I didn't even know monks drank. Like I thought.
If you read the history of beer, the monks had a lot to do with the
Yeah,
fact that we have this to enjoy today.
I'm sure. I'm probably like
Yeah.
I'm sure that.
Well,
That's
I didn't know it either, but when I first started working here and I was part-time, and I would work the store, and the store was tiny and not real busy, and I was still teaching, I would grab books out of the library, out of our library, and read them while I was working the store because I didn't know anything else to do, and that's how I learned the history of all of those
all the
kind of
beer?
things. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's like such a teacher vibe in you.
Nerd alert! Reading a book.
But yeah, I didn't mean to delve so far into that, but it was such an interesting day, and I think that our viewers, tell me if I bored you, but also don't. It'll hurt my feelings.
I'm fascinated with it. Absolutely. So what are we going to get to do with our fun people when it comes to the G40?
What do you mean?
Like, are we showing them? Or what are we going to do on a live with this G40?
I think that we should taste the Chimay that we made on it. That would be cool. Like, don't you think that would be a good idea?
Jim would let us.
Yeah, maybe we'll see if Jim wants to come in even. I know he works though, like people work during this time.
I heard about that.
We'll see. But I also, he currently has it. He's like, can I just keep it? I was like,
No.
He was just messing around. But no, he's gonna bring it back and we'll clean it up. It'll be cleaned up and we'll I think just probably go over it, like all the different parts of everything, and
maybe we can even get Zach in from the Firelands Homebrew Club, and we can brew something together. Yeah.
So Learn to Homebrew Day is November 6th, I believe, and Zach, if you guys have watched some of our previous lives, he came in to do a talk about kegging. If you want to get into kegging, I would highly recommend going back and watching that live because it's very educational. And then he also came in and did a brew day with me. We brewed the Firelands
Mosaic IPA.
Yeah, and it's a recipe that Zach himself created. So that was fun. So he offered to come in and do Learn to Homebrew Day, but unfortunately it's just not really going to work out with the way that all of our schedules are. But we really did appreciate that, and we definitely
more than you know, Zach.
Yeah, and we definitely want to have him back in.
Well, it just happens to be that it's the week before our anniversary party. We haven't finished the floor move. The store is kind of a medium hot mess, and the owner is going on vacation. So all of that perfect storm, we're still going to get it done, but I don't think we can brew in the middle of it.
Yeah, for sure. Then just briefly, before we get to open this, our anniversary, we're going to be doing festivities November 16th through November 20th. So just kind of save the date. I'll be putting out an email with further details very shortly. But before we say anything, we kind of want to get details solidified. So let's open the Hazy IPA, shall we?
Let's do it. Yeah. And you know what? I think this is getting more mild as we drink.
I think it is too. I was actually gonna say that.
Yeah, I'm not squeamish at all. And actually, I'm enjoying it. So.
Now, something that I didn't mention, is that something that I teased on the Instagram and then forgot to mention is that this Blackberry Tart Sour Ale is 2.7 to 3.2%. I don't think that I've ever seen one of these kits that had a 2% anything. So if you want a really low ABV beer, this is your guy. Someone on Instagram Zach says, I'll be happy to help whenever you want.
Thank you, Zach.
Thanks, Zach. Here's to you.
We're gonna get our stuff together. We're gonna make this work.
But in contrast, this Hazy IPA is 6 to 6.5%. So,
which I feel is like more in the normal range.
Yeah, I'd say that's. I think like 5-ish% is what I generally get, 5 to 6. But
although I do appreciate that. I mean, I wasn't even familiar with Radlers 2 years ago, and now I think that they're a great idea. Mm-hmm.
So the Hazy IPA. So this is something that I learned at the brew day as well. There's actually a funny story. So flaked oats, to my understanding from what I learned, is what makes a Hazy IPA hazy. And so this Hazy IPA includes 8 ounces of flaked oats.
Is it only oats, or is it just flaked anything?
So it's flaked oats. And I could be completely wrong, but from what I heard at this brew day, it's flaked oats.
Okay.
Because Jim had somebody helping him on one of his previous brew days, and he's like, hey, will you get all the grains ready? And they're like, yeah, sure. And Jim has a system where his friends can literally go in online and see exactly how much grain he has in what bins, so that when they come over to brew...
I need him.
Yeah. So it's like all very organized. And it's like live, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, he probably has it set up by weight or something. He's a very intelligent, crafty type of a guy in that way. But anyways, his friend was setting it all up, everything's labeled perfectly, you know, in the system. And they go to put it all out, and there's this bag of flaked, they put it all into the whatever they were brewing in. And there's this bag of flaked oats sitting on the table. And Jim's like, what did we just put in? Because that wasn't, and they had put flaked barley into it instead of flaked oats. And they're like, well, I guess we're gonna figure out what flaked barley does to it. And he said that as far as he could tell, it was just a little bit less hazy than what.
So it remained a little more clear.
Yeah, a little bit. But he said that he couldn't really, he's like, he's like, as far as I could tell, it didn't actually play as much of a role as I thought it was going to, like, make a dramatic difference.
Well, because we have, like, we have flaked maize, flaked oats, flaked rye, flaked barley, flaked rice.
Yep.
And I may be missing, but I think it's 5. And
Mm-hmm.
so...
It's just kind of funny.
All right. But I appreciate the hazy. I love the hazy.
Let's see. Flaked oats and wheat are often used to get hazy and beer, but can also come from dry hopping and less I hate that word, flocculent yeast. Okay, cool. Thanks, Zach. We appreciate that. So flaked barley, apparently...
It worked.
It worked.
It worked.
But it's just always funny when, like, something's very clear and obvious, and then it gets messed up anyways.
But you know what? The thing is, there's a lot of room for error, and it's still beer.
That's true. Okay, let's see. What do we have here? So I'm assuming...
Alright, we're going to steep some grains.
We are?
So, it's the flaked oats is all it is, I guess. So it says...
It's like we don't have any grains.
4 crushed grains in the grain bag, but we don't have crushed grains.
Well, I think it's probably just error on their...
Yeah, because it's generic.
Wording.
Alright, then we have our included DME.
So we got light spray dried malt. 8 ounces of that. And then Pilsen Light again. Pound of that.
Interesting, because they say it's Pilsen Light and then Golden Light. So maybe this is the Golden Light. It just doesn't say golden. It just says light. And then this is Pilsen. So Golden Light, we sell more Golden Light DME than any other flavor.
Really?
Yes. Okay, so we've got Golden Light DME, we've got Pilsen Light DME, and the hop editions are no joke. Remember, this is a 1 gallon batch.
Yeah, and there's 3 hop editions.
3 hop editions. So the first one is the Columbus.
Okay.
So you have 5 grams.
5 grams of Columbus.
And then the second one, Mosaic, my very favorite, 3 grams.
Yeah, Mosaic's your favorite.
It is. And then 3 grams of Lemon Drop.
Lemon drop hop.
Mmm.
You know, when I was first brewing, lemon drop hops are one of the very first hops I ever smelled.
Really?
Yeah, so that's what I always think of when I think of hops. I feel like I associate more of a lemony scent to them because it's the first one I ever smelled.
Okay. So this one also has the note of do not rehydrate your yeast and only use 1 teaspoon.
Oh, so, but this time it's not a sour. So it's not the sanitize before and sanitize after type of
No,
deal.
nothing else in red.
So we got USO 5, and then Crown Cups and Primer Shirt. It's throwing me off since this is a 1 gallon kit that there's so little of all the ingredients. I'm
Yeah.
and
They're
here's
darling.
hops.
So this one says the juicy brew is packed with citrus and tropical hop aromas. The golden haze is well balanced with a smooth mouthfeel and refreshing fruity finish.
I like hazies. I think they're
You
good.
and I both. And I can do a 6%. It's when you get to the 8, 9, and 10%.
That Chimay that we bring in, it's I told you, it's 10%.
Well,
that's going to be a
bring
day.
it on a day I don't have to go anywhere in the afternoon. I do get worried sometimes.
Yeah, we gotta stay safe. Stay safe, everyone.
Yeah, so but your bittering units are just 12 to 16.
So
So the IBUs are pretty low.
Yeah.
Well, Mosaic is very gentle. You're gonna want this in there.
Oh, thanks. I tried.
I think it's flavorful, but not in your face or anything.
Yeah. Well, I think that these are 2 really good kits. And I would be hyped to try either one of them. And sours, I think I like sours. I know I have a friend, she's all about stouts and porters and...
Am I that friend?
No.
Because I love those.
But you guys would probably get along really well. But I sent her, she also was very into beer can art. And I sent her, there's this cool beer can, but it was a fruited sour. And she was like, yuck. And I was like, come on, man, I was trying to send you cool beer can art. And she's like, I hate fruited sours. So.
I can't say that obviously. But I mean, I think had this been a porter or a stout, it would be gone. Because I have to sip this more.
Yeah. You know, I tried, so Lisa gave me, Lisa's Jim's wife,
Shout out to Lisa too.
shout out to Lisa.
Hostess with the mostest.
Literally, it's so funny, I think she actually said that. She's
Did
like, yeah.
I really enjoy her when she comes to the store.
She said that she had brewed an Irish stout and then a Cadbury cream egg, some sort of, I don't know what it was, but it had Cadbury, and she gave me a bottle of each of them to take home and try, and I haven't tried them yet because I want to actually sit down and enjoy them and take my time.
Now, will Jed enjoy them with you?
Yeah, he'll try them
He
for
will?
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, he always tries
So I
them.
didn't. I have to. Full disclosure. I have not met Jed yet, and so I walked out the other day, and he was under your pickup truck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is probably not the time. In my head, I'm like, you don't be rude. Don't be a jerk. And then the other part was like, dude is kind of busy. Doesn't want to deal with you. And I was like, swerve.
I didn't even see you. I was sitting in the truck.
Where are you?
Well, if it was was it during the daytime?
Oh, no.
It was at night.
It was, you left work about 4 or maybe a little before 4, 3:30.
Yeah.
And I left work at
Okay,
5:30.
So shout out to Jed. I know he's not watching, but shout out to Jed. My truck broke down. And from what I'm told, I'm very unmechanical, but he went to school for automotive and diesel, so he okay, we're good. He went to school for automotive and diesel, so I have a built-in mechanic essentially, which is really, really nice. And he said that the starter went out on it, and so he was gonna fix it.
And the poor guy's laying on his back under the truck in the parking lot. And I'm thinking the last thing he needs to do is play like, "Hi Paula, I care that you exist right now."
Yeah. And so he picked me up from work and he took me home and then he went and got parts and he came back so that I wouldn't have to wait the 2 or 3 hours that it took him to do it.
Because I didn't think you were in the truck.
Yeah, no.
If you were in the truck, I probably would have. I looked and you were not in the Prius and you were not in the truck.
No, so it was funny because I was in the truck and he came to pick me up and he went under the truck to see what was going on. Like to see if it was an easy fix or something, and Todd came out right before he came, and was like, "Hey, like, do you want me to wait for you, like, whatever?" And I was like, "No, like, I'm fine. You should be here any minute, but thank you, I appreciate it." Todd's like, "All right," and he like,
and that had to be like 5:02.
I could see the gleam in his eye that like he wanted to stay and he wanted to meet Jed. Everyone's been like wanting to meet Jed, and I get it, he's a great guy, but. And then, like, Katie came out, and Katie gets in her car, and she sees me, and at that point, Jed was under the truck. Katie's like, "Are you okay?" Because my hood was popped, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine, my husband's underneath the truck," and she laughed, she's like, "Okay," and she drives away, but I could see the gleam in her eye, she wanted to
we haven't had, because of COVID, we have had no major events for our staff, but, had you been in, prior to COVID, we would already know him, he would know us. Yeah. There's no secrets here.
And so then now apparently Paula's doing the same thing. That's so funny.
That tells you what kind of culture we have here. Mm-hmm. We are not going to let a sister be stuck in the parking lot. It's not going to happen.
Oh, I just saw this. I don't know if you're still on. Our comments are like coming in weird, but Julie from Athletic Brewing, I hope that's okay that I shout them out.
Sure, absolutely.
Athletic Brewing is like a non-alcoholic brewing company, so basically they make beer and then they take the alcohol out afterwards. And I like try to help promote them because I think that that's pretty cool for like I'm athletic, like I've gone.
You're super athletic.
So it's like
you can say that.
Yeah.
You can say that about you. I cannot say that about me.
So Julie is my contact for Athletic Brewing. So it's cool to see that she's on, that she's watching. Something we said she said.
I bet it was about the hazy and the flaked and
maybe.
The thing. Yeah.
Maybe. Shout out to Julie. She's really cool. So, but yeah, we'll have to get people to meet Jed. He hates he's the opposite of me 100%. He would hate sitting in front of a camera and being the center of attention.
Like, we don't even think of it that way, though. We think, like, you all should be sitting here and you should be just having your drink with us.
Yeah.
It's just a social time.
For real, it's just a social time. It's just a chill time.
Mm-hmm. And everybody else in the whole warehouse hates us on Thursdays.
They do hate us. So I'll mention it briefly just before we go again, because I feel like, as always, we're off on a tangent, but our brand new 1 gallon beer ingredient kits, both the Hazy IPA and the Blackberry Sour Ale, are on sale this week, now through Sunday, and you can get 10% off with the code GALLON at checkout. And then stay tuned for mid-November, that's 16th through the 20th, for our anniversary celebration, because there's going to be some happenings going on.
Right, and there's going to be happenings if you're anywhere in the world, you will be able to be part of the happenings. And then the closer you are to the store, there are more happenings.
I like the way you said that. All right, happy Thirsty Thursday, everyone. We really enjoyed that you came and hung out with us today. And with that, I'm gonna go.
Okay.